Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So my name is Demar Matthews, and um, my work more so centers on displacement and specifically Black architecture and kind of unearthing the Black aesthetic in architecture. And I'll kind of speak as to why as we go through really quickly. And you can go to the next slide. So this is actually from 1968. So this is the year that it finally became illegal to discriminate uh, in terms of housing based on race. So you have everyone else in America who basically has an architectural language and a sort of a stamp in the built environment where their culture sort of shines through, but that's not true for Black Americans. And so here you look at the history of housing for Black or for African Americans once we got to America, which of course starts in the slave plantation. And then this is right now, these are one of the five housing projects in Watts. And when you look at the language of this, it's very similar to a prison. Just the language of these bars here facing in as if the person isn't supposed to escape is something that's very common in Black neighborhoods. And then when you look at, I sort of had this big analyzation of the built environment in Black neighborhoods, one much like where I come from. And these are kind of things that you will often see, um, prison-like environments, overly policed, a lot of abandoned buildings, bars on windows and doors, a heavy uh, surveillance rate. And so I wondered how I can bring in, after going to school for a master's in architecture during my final year, I realized that I was only being taught how to design for other communities through other design aesthetics and other ideas of beauty that aren't really mine. So I wanted to go and try and find this Black aesthetic to be able to produce a Black architecture in Watts specifically. And this has actually turned into a design build. So just here really briefly, you're able to see some of the Black techniques that I was able to take from, and I wanted everything about the design of this house to derive from Black culture. And that starts from art, that starts from hair, from music, from literature, from Black experience, from everything Black. I tried to kind of bring into this to allow for a new aesthetic or the advancement of the Black aesthetic. And so here, this house is actually located, or we're in the funding process to build this house right now. And so it is directly next to the Watts Towers, and this fence or art walk that you see behind here was an early sketch of what we're looking to offer the community through Black architecture. And we know that typically Black neighborhoods are going to lack resources, wherein Watts is one of those Black neighborhoods. It's a food desert, of course. It deals with a really tough rate of displacement. 30 years ago, it was almost 90% Black, and today it's under 30% Black. And when you leave these Black areas, you're either going to Skid Row, or you're going to go, if you still have housing, you're going to go either 60 miles east to Inland Empire, or you're going 60 miles north up to Lancaster or Palmdale area. And through this thing and with that fence walk, we're trying to offer the community fruits, vegetables, spices to be able to grow their own things, as well as free, all these things are free, along with the frames, two different sort of framing exhibitions for the community and young local artists in Watts and in South LA to be able to come and exhibit there. And as well as just trying to be able to give, you saw a piece of the free outdoor library that's going to be there as well. Really just trying to be able to give as many resources as we can off of this fence line and use the architecture to be able to instill pride in the built environment in Black neighborhoods. And you can find out more about the project. We're looking for sponsors. And yeah, I would just love if I would love any any help, advice, anything like that. So I'll throw in my website, and if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Wish I had a little more time. So contact me and we can definitely speak about it later.